Unlimited data from AT&T means you could stream it all. Like that Anthony Michael Hall movie where he fights with the girl. The one where he gets rejected by the girl.
All right, what is going on? Sorry. What is going on, everybody? So as for those of you who have seen this channel before, you might notice some new things. You might notice I have a camera now. I got some fancy backgrounds and everything. If you're new to this channel, then this is probably news to you or in any way exciting. But for me and some of the others who are watching, it's maybe a bit of a big deal. Not even sure if I'm supposed to like look at the camera or if I'm just supposed to look at my screen and speak. Not really sure. Never done this before, but gonna try and do the best I can here. So I think everyone is ready. Just going to check. One person was having technical difficulties getting into the lobby, but both both teams appear to have everyone here. So I'm just going to make sure that we're all ready to go, and then hopefully we can get the draft started. So I'd like to thank those of you who are watching this match and not playing Overwatch, which seems to be the rest of the Blizzard community. Okay, so I'm just going to get the links out to the captains, and then we should be ready to go. Okay, just going to give out the last captain's link here. Just one moment. Let's see, which one is the captain here? There he is. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch over to the draft scene. Cool. So Black Coffee has readied up, just waiting on MMR Hell to ready up, and they have. So the draft is now underway. So this map is going to be Battlefield of Eternity, so not really a strong laning map, so I don't know, wouldn't expect to see Abathur or anything crazy like that. Zagara I do think is a high priority pick here, so could expect to see her either banned out or picked pretty early. The vision she gives in the middle is very important, but we do see Illidan banned out first. Despite his nerfs, he does still seem to be a very top tier, highly prioritized hero. So, don't know if he's still worthy of that or if people just haven't shifted their mindset yet as far as who's a high priority hero to ban or pick. But Li Ming is going to be the other ban, so not too surprising. Would have seen the exact same first bans last week probably, even before the patch, but so Black Coffee is going to have first pick here, so let's see what they decide to go with as I look to make sure my microphone is not muted. That would be bad if I was just speaking all this time into the void. But I could expect to see a Zagara here, maybe a Falstad. Despite the nerfs that Falstad got to Mighty Gus, still a very strong hero. There we go, called it. There is Falstad being picked up for Black Coffee. So, still a very strong hero. His ability to go right up to laning after finishing with the Immortals, still very valuable. Mighty Gus, still incredibly strong. It got a 20-second increase to its cooldown, so it went from 40 seconds to 60 seconds. Might not even be enough, but it's definitely a step in the right direction, I think. So MMR Hell, they now have their chance of the next two picks. So they pick up Thrall, very solid hero still. Yeah, he's another who got some nerfs, but doesn't really seem to be scaring anyone away from him. Sunring did get changed from a 1.5 stun to a 1.25. So The thing I think about Sundering, the change to that's significant, is I don't think he pairs as well with Diablo. I think the window for landing Apocalypse after Sundering it's now a quarter second tighter, which is an eternity in a game like this. You have like way less time to react to it. So I wonder if that's going to hurt Diablo's dominance. on the almighty Hatzlogs. But we do see Jaina picked up by MMR Hell, so probably getting the strongest playable burst assassin in the game. No one ever gets to play Li Ming in Hero League or Chair League, so pretty much Jaina is the best you can hope for. But we just see Rhaegar picked up by Black Coffee. Yeah, this is another hero who has had considerable nerfs, but still is very, very strong. Still picked up an awful lot, but they are going to pair that with Johanna, who pairs very well with Rhaegar. Condemn into Lightning Shield is a very strong combo. But MMR Hell, they have their choice of banning out someone. I don't really see any kind of obvious choice for them at this point. Black Coffee, they've already picked up their support. They've already picked up their warrior. They've already picked up Falstad. Don't think they're really revealing anything about their comp. But they decided to ban out Zul. I don't know if this is the strongest map for Zul necessarily. It's only 2 lanes, not an awful lot of pushing going on, but he's still very strong when it comes to team fights. Bone Prison can... A good Bone Prison can absolutely turn the tide of a team fight. And in a map where everyone's so clustered up around the Immortals, I mean, a good Poison Nova can just really, really do a lot. But Lieutenant Morales banned out for Black Coffee. Which I actually think is kind of smart. Black Coffee, they don't have much of a dive comp right now. I mean, Johanna, not a great diver unless she takes Falling Sword. But why would you ever do that? She's a warrior. That's not something you probably want to take with her. But Falstad, not too much of a diver. Rhaegar, not too much of a diver. So without many means to dive Morales, she could really be a problem for Black Coffee. So I do think that's a smart ban. But Muradin picked up by MMR Hell. Still probably the best warrior in the game. Again, despite nerfs, still very strong. And Vala picked up for MMR Hell as well. So they're going to have a good deal of sustained damage on the Immortals, thanks to Vala. Might see her go an auto-attack build here. Or is it this was Infernal Shrines, that was about clearing multiple creeps. Might see her go multi-shot, but would expect to see her go an auto-attack build, just so she can really deal out a lot of damage to those Immortals, those single targets. But Vala could have a little bit of tough time in a team fight, especially if she's going auto-attack, because of Johanna's blinds. But 2 more picks for Black Coffee. They really have some options. Okay, so they're going for Lunara. Kind of, I guess, the answer to Vala. Someone with a lot of sustained damage on the Immortals. Then they go with Sonya to really solidify their front line. So they've got 3 frontline heroes. They have Rhaegar, Johanna, and Sonya. So that's going to be an awful lot of melee. So Lunara and Falstad should be very well protected in the back. But then Uther is going to round out the comp for MMR Hell. So they're answering with a little bit of melee of their own. But cool, that is going to do it. So I think now we can get into the game once everyone readies up. So yeah, I almost wonder if this is too much melee for Black Coffee. If you have too many heroes in the front, it can really clog things up and make it difficult for certain heroes to get into the front line who need to be there. If, for instance, if Rhaegar and Johanna are already in the front, it could be hard for Sonya to get up there as well, just because she's being body blocked out by the other 2 in the front. Yeah, I was hoping for Cho'Gall too. Oh well. You know, when I was researching the match that's going to be coming up after this, which is Snipe Squad versus Shadow Brotherhood, which is going to be awesome. I was watching one of the drafts, and I think the first 3 picks they had were Rhaegar, Tassadar, and I don't know, some damage dealer. But I was like, oh my god, I think they're gonna go Cho'Gall, I think they're gonna go Cho'Gall, and then they didn't, and I was very disappointed. But alright, we are getting this started up. So, we have the Captain Eljana on Rhaegar, Deming Kid on Lunara, Juice on Sonya, Murky on Johanna. Did I say Johanna before? Juice on Sonya, Murky on Johanna, and Icarus on Falstad, who I don't think is account level 1, but maybe, we'll see. Descende on Uther, Brooklyn Bum on Jaina, the Captain Z Mexican on Muradin, B Mills on Thrall, and Luruk on Vala. I hope I'm getting that at least in the ballpark, maybe. Yes, I am wearing my official Chair League t-shirt, so. I am spending my Friday night casting matches, but hey, there are rewards for it, so. Let's see if anything jumps out to us as far as the talents go. Everything looks pretty standard to me. I'm going to be curious to see what Vala goes with, if she's going for... Vala's one of these characters who, at level 1, you can kind of tell what build she's going to go with. But she still has not picked a talent yet. Could just be trolling me, who knows. But we are going to see a 4-man in the top for MMR Hell against Solo Falstad. But then conversely, we have Solo Thrall in the bottom lane against 4 members from Black Coffee. So, not too much going on right now. Both teams playing very defensively. Nothing nutty going on. Which is smart. So, Vala, she actually did go with the, I think that's Rancor is the name of that talent. But, so, Vala is going the auto attack build, so probably going to do everything she can and just lay into the Immortals. Which I think is smart. But we do say a 2-man rotation coming down to the bottom. See Muradin and Vala come down. They're stopping the pressure on that tower, but not going to result in any picks. Whereas poor Falstad is still up here alone. Someone is requesting a pause. I don't think I can pause it as the observer, which sucks.
I will arrive soon. The Demon Lord is close behind.
So, Brooklyn Bum is having a bit of a frame rate issue, so hopefully that clears up. Clears up if I could speak English. So, while I have a moment, why don't I say a little bit about both these teams. These are 2 teams that participated in Cheer League last season. And a bit of a rough time, but I know both of them are looking to get off to a much better start this time. Not sure if there's been any roster adjustments or anything, but both teams looking to start Season 2 off right. So, the Immortals have spawned, and right away we see Descende, Jaina, Zim Mexican, basically just everyone just tearing into Black Coffee's Immortal, and Black Coffee has the same idea. They're also laying into the Immortal, and it looks extremely even right now, so I'm gonna be curious to see if anyone's just content to just beat on the other team's Immortal, or if they're gonna make any attempt at defense. And it looks like everyone is just deciding to lay into the Immortals. MMR Hell was a little bit late at getting to it, and I think that's going to cost them. We saw Thrall out here, maybe thinking about defending, and I think someone was tapping, so they didn't get on that quick enough. So as a result, they ended up losing the Immortal, and it's going to go over to the side of Black Coffee. Now, Falstad is going to come up here and push with it. Whereas MMR Hell, they are they have one person defending on the bottom. They have poor Thrall, poor B Mills down there defending alone. Whereas the other 4 are up defending against the Immortal, which gets blown up very quickly. All I got was a tower, so didn't get a lot of work done. However, on the bottom, the split push did pay massive dividends. They did get the entire gate, so... all in all, not too much was done. They have a half level lead, which is... it's significant, but it's not insurmountable by any means. Both teams are at an even level, so... even talent tier. So, not too much going on. The Immortals are going to come up again fairly soon, so I would expect someone to try and get a camp. But with a 4-man push and a 4-man defense in the bottom, no one can really break away to get any camp. What MMR could do here is they could defend with 3 and then send someone to maybe grab the Bruiser camp. But they're going to choose to keep fighting down here. So yeah, the Immortals are going to be up here in about 10 seconds. It's a Mexican in a bit of trouble, but manages a door toss out of there. He will be safe. Muradin he's immortal. He will never die. He will live forever. But they are choosing to pick up this camp quickly before going over to the Immortal. And as a result, they're almost going to lose. That Immortal is almost going to be 50%, yeah. So by getting that camp, I mean, they gave up about half the Immortal's health, so now they're now way behind here. So they basically have to defend if they want to have any chance of winning this, but now they're choosing to just go ahead and accept the loss of the Immortal, and they're just doing whatever damage they can to it. They actually did a fairly good job. I mean, they did more than 50% of the Immortal's health, so they actually out-damaged it, but because they chose to get the camp, they ended up losing it, though. And now they're going to have another Immortal to deal with. I'd be curious to see if they do another 4-man split push, and it looks like they are. But Laruk in a lot of trouble with Vala. Don't know if she's seen by the others, but looks like she wasn't. Otherwise, her hearthing could have been interrupted, and that could have been really bad. She also could have been picked off, which would have been really bad, but she managed to get out of there. E-Mills comes down with Thrall. But it's looking like this top fort is going to stay. Falstad may be in a bit of trouble. Okay, he managed to get away, but Rhaegar, unfortunately, he stays just a little bit too long. A little bit of an overextension on the side of Black Coffee, and Rhaegar ends up falling. So it's looking like MMR Health are thinking about picking up this camp. Sonya sticking her head in, maybe in a bit of trouble, but no, she's going to be just fine. It's amazing, even though Rhaegar wasn't around to heal her, it's her own self-healing just really kept her up during all that. Actually, Jaina ends up falling in the top lane. Icarus doing a great job of picking her off, so MMR Hell, they're going to miss out on a little bit of soak as a result of that. And level 10 talents are now picked up by Black Coffee. So they're going to have a big advantage going into not only this little skirmish down here, but also the next set of Immortals. MMR Hell, they're still a half level away from picking up their level 10s. So they've really got to be careful. But Thrall says, I don't care. Level 10 schmevel 10s. I'm going to attack anyway. But Icarus using his level 10 talent, Mighty Gust, to push Thrall away. And it's going to be up in no time at all because the patching probably was not enough. But it's looking like Black Coffee opting to do the same thing that MMR Hell did before and go pick up the Bruiser Camp before the Immortal. The one advantage they have is that their Immortal is spawning on their side, so they're having a much easier time defending. They don't have to pick up the Bruiser Camp and then rush all the way to the other side to defend. And I think Black Coffee is perfectly happy to let this fight stall out. They have the Bruiser Camp pushing in the bottom lane, so if they just sit there and just let things just kind of stall out MMR Hell from attacking, that camp pushes. And see, now they see that Thrall has gone down to defend the camp, so now they're going in. The Mexican in a lot of trouble, but Divine Shield goes down to save him. Leap goes down on Vala. Vala is going to fall. But Rhaegar is going to fall as well, so it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. Icarus in some trouble, but great barrel roll to get out of there. Stay safe. And it's looking like that is going to, I think, be all the deaths. But Black Coffee is on the run, and as a result, MMR Hell is starting to put the hurt on the Immortal. But it's looking like Lunara not going to tap. She's going to park all the way back, so that's going to delay her from coming to the aid here of Alarian. And it's looking like this Immortal is probably going to get to half health before anything else significant happens. Although, a great cleanse goes down on Janet to keep her up, but no, Janet ends up falling. I think the fact that Vala wasn't there in the fight, that allowed them to be aggressive and get that pick. And halftime has still not occurred. This Immortal still has a hair bit of more than 50% life left. Which is actually good for MMR Hell, because if Black Coffee ends up bursting this thing all the way down, all they can do is get it to 50% before there's a pause and everyone has a chance to resurrect and come back up. But both Immortals are almost exactly at 50%. Pretty much the next attack of any kind. There it is. That, what is it? What is it called? Holy Radiance by Uther? I play the character. I don't even know what it's called. But I think I always thought it was Wave of Light, but that's actually one of the talents. But Johanna comes in. But a big Ring of Frost goes down. Only hits Johanna. But yeah, a lot of ults going down, but no one ends up falling. And it's looking like this is going to be a successful defense by Black Coffee for the time being. Yeah, Murray wasn't a lot of trouble, but that was a great Dwarf toss over that wall, so it could not be pursued, could not be finished off, but unfortunately, even though they have the lead on the Immortal, MMR Hell is forced to back off, and that is going to more than likely result in this Immortal being picked up by Black Coffee. We do see, oh, it's a race, it's a race, oh wow, and MMR Hell just barely picks it up. Sonya was just not enough to defend that. Maybe if she had gone up and attacked it too, maybe Black Coffee could have secured it, but you know, all three of these Immortals so far have just been really close. The second one wasn't all that close, but the first one was extremely close. That third one was very close. But you know, once again, we see one person pushing with the Immortal. We see B Mills down here on Thrall pushing with the Immortal, and then we have a split push going on up at the top. So both teams, great minds think alike. But Sonya gonna chase Thrall away. Not pick him off for now. Thrall's got to be pretty careful because that fort is down, so he really has to run a long way to get to safety. But luckily for him, he's not pursued. He's able to hearth just right there out in the open. Well, let's see what's going on up here on the top. So far, Falstad doing a very good job of keeping that fort upright. The split push not accomplishing too much. I think they know it's just it's Falstad up here for now, but I'm not sure they know if the rest of the team is rotating. Sonya thinking about invading the camp, but deciding not to. Deciding wisely, I think I'm going to stay away. Yeah, I think she made the right call. So it's a 4-on-4 up in the top, but MMR Hell has the camp pushing, so maybe they try and make something happen here. But actually, Thrall picks off Lunara down in the bottom lane. That's huge. And we see the rest of this team coming. They might be thinking about pushing down this fort. Yeah, I think they are. There's going to be nothing that Black Coffee can do to defend against that. Only Sonya thinking about coming down and defending, but not going to be able to get there in time. Even if she could. I mean, it's 5-on-1. What is she going to do? But the bottom siege cap is going to be picked up for MMR Hell. So not only have they taken that fort, they've taken a slight XP lead, and they're going to have that camp pushing while the Immortals come up. And not only is that camp going to be pushing, but it's looking like this Bruiser camp will push as well. Poor Uther is going to need some help. Not much the poor Paladin can do to finish off that camp quickly, but eventually the camp is picked up. And fortunately for them, the Immortal is the enemy Immortal is spawning right next to them, so they can quickly finish off the camp and get right to burning it down. And they do have a big lead on the Immortal. Now it's looking like they're choosing to defend. They do have a big lead on the Immortal. I don't know if they're not really forced to do this, but they're choosing to. But a big Ring of Frost goes down, hits Rhaegar, who ends up falling. Also hit Johanna, but she's going to live. Divine Shield goes down on Thrall, and thanks to his trait, he's going to recover a lot of life. But Johanna does end up falling as well. Icarus in some trouble. He falls, as does Lunar. This is going to be a wipe. This is going to be a 5-man wipe, and this is going to result in a huge Immortal coming down the lanes against Black Coffee. So wow, you know, that big Ring of Frost by who's that? Brooklyn Bum. Yeah, that just really. Oh, I mean that finished off Rhaegar early, and that just allowed them to just steamroll through the rest of the team. And meanwhile, B Mills is going down to soak some experience, but looks like someone did have a connection issue. Deming Kid. So while we're paused, why don't we take a look at some of the stats? So both teams do seem to be pretty even in terms of damage. Yeah, I mean it's pretty much alternating between teams, so that's a pretty good sign that things are pretty close. Siege also seems to be pretty close. Falstead, though, just really seems to be the MVP all around. Just topping Siege, hero damage, XP, all onto his team. Not in the game, Thrall is actually ahead, but let's see. Take a look at some talents quickly. Interesting. So, like, Jin is going with the Frostbolt build, so he's gonna have the extra range, the piercing. And it's interesting that she's going with Icy Veins. So I guess she could just like really cast those very quickly. Could be trying to heavily prioritize damaging the Immortals. So let's see. You know, a lot of these icons have changed in the last couple patches. So oh yeah. One thing I meant to mention in the intro. So. This second team is called MMR Hell. That is a real place, by the way. I mean, oh, okay. We're back into this. But yeah, MMR Hell, that is a real place. It really exists. It's really a place you can go. I think I might be there in Quick Match right now. Thankfully, I'm not there in Hero League, but you know, there's proof that it exists because, you know, a lot of people make Smurf accounts. You know, they'll just start a new account from scratch. And they end up at MMRs that are way higher than what they regularly play at, so. If you're out there and you're in MMR hell, I feel for you. If you're paired up with Abathurs who take monstrosities instead of Ultimate Evolution, I feel so sorry for you. Anyway, but Beleth is barreling down this lane, still has full health, just lost all of his shields, but this keep is in real danger of going down. In fact, this keep almost certainly will go down. But Mighty Gus goes down to try and save the keep, but unfortunately, that will not save it. He did also pin Thrall against the wall, but Thrall is going to live. The Blessed Shield comes down for Murky, but I should actually say Johanna, because saying it's coming down for Murky, that's a little bit confusing. But nothing comes off of it. But it's a good disengage. So it's looking like, MMR Hell, they're gonna go ahead and pick up that camp up there. You know, I still have trouble telling if I'm in the super duper zoomed out or just the very zoomed out, so. Yeah, let's go to the very super zoomed out. There we go. But the bottom camp is going to be picked up by Black Coffee. But we have an engagement. Dwarf Toss in, an aggressive Dwarf Toss in from Murden. Ring of Frost goes down, hits 2. Sonya is going awfully deep, but she's going to be fine because everyone on MMR Hell is incredibly low, but no one ends up getting finished off. Sonya ends up falling. Divine Shield goes down on Vala. She may have been safe, but oh wow. But Jaina actually ends up falling to something. I'm guessing Lunara poison. If I were a betting man, I would say probably Lunara poison. The bane of everyone in quick match. It's a very rough thing to deal with when you don't have any supports who can give you a heal. And Lunara is a character that Uther in particular has a very tough time with. She puts a lot of damage off on multiple people, and Uther has these big single target burst heals that don't really do well against that. He does have his W, but it's a tough thing. Yeah, it's still something you get every 12 seconds, and it's really hard to combat all the poison. There is a particular build that Uthers will go with to combat that, but I don't think that's being used right now. But it's looking like so far the Immortal lead is going over to MMR Hell. And now the Immortal is spawning on their side, which means they could make a strong defense, but no, they're going right in. The Mexican is deciding, no, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to go in there and fight. We have the level lead. We have a level 18 over level 17, so we'd have a bit of an advantage. Another Ring of Frost goes down, hits 2. Cleanse goes down on Sonya to keep her alive. And Unrooted, who immediately jumps on Jaina and then gets blown right up. But Avatar and Divine Shield go down on Murden, so he ends up being completely fine. But so far this is a 3-for-0 trade. Murky is going to fall on Johanna. And that is only Falstad remains for Black Coffee, and this could be game. This could be game, because this Immortal is going to have more than half its shields. I'm not sure where they're deciding to go. Okay, they're deciding to go pick up the camp, so they really want to put the lane pressure on them. I don't think this is totally necessary. You know what? No, I take it back. This is actually smart. I was thinking they were giving up capping the Immortal faster, and then they were going to give them time to res, but that was probably going to happen anyway. And they really didn't give up too much by having Murden finish it off. They were only going to burn it down, I don't know, a few seconds faster if everyone stayed. But Beleth he has full health, about 2/3 of his shield, so he's going to do some work. The one thing I don't like is that the team isn't here yet. You know, they had a Hearth back because they got the camp, so they're not here to keep the rest of Black Coffee off of him, so he's going to lose basically all of his shields and not going to get too much out of it. Got the keep wall, but could have been better, perhaps. But this keep is going to fall, no doubt. And a half-health Immortal is going to be marching towards the core. And I'm not sure they're going to be able to defend this. So Sundering goes down, Falstad gets hit, but he is cleansed, but I think he might have just barrel rolled into that Ring of Frost, as I don't think he was in it, so... Oh, just the most unfortunate of barrel rolls, but that's going to be 2 down, 3 down, Rhaegar falls as well, Lunara, and that is going to be GG. Wow. So those team fights just really shifted towards MMR hell in the end there. I really got to give it up to Brooklyn Bum on Jaina. It was really the big Rings of Frost. Every time she casted it, she was hitting at least 2 people in there. Usually she was getting Rhaegar, who is a very high priority target. A lot of times she was getting Johanna, which is fine. I mean, you want to lock down the warrior. That's not such a bad thing. But oftentimes they were hitting Rhaegar. They were hitting a high priority target. They were hurting their team's ability to heal by taking him out early. And with the recent change to Rhaegar, we're at here. Let me switch the scene here real quick, so you can go to my post-game screen. There we go. So with the recent change to Rhaegar, where he can't ancestral healing himself, if he's even getting hit by that Ring of Frost and locked down, even if he doesn't get killed, he's getting super low, and he has to retreat from the fight, and he has no ways of healing himself. So even if he's not being killed, he's effectively being killed because he's taken out of the fight. He can't stay anywhere near it. He's got to run away. He's got to get back. So, I mean, just Jaina really did a great job of locking down targets with those Rings of Frost, and just really great job. Bleh, if I could speak, really great job by them. So, congratulations to MMR Hell. Again, I still am not sure how the placement system works. Oh, never mind. This is a Division 3 match. Never mind. This isn't placement matches. But congrats to MMR Hell. They're starting the season off 1-0, so they've got to really feel good about themselves. Feel like they're off to a good start. So, congrats to them. So, let's see here. So, the big match, the pro match, is going to be coming up here. Let me look at the camera. Is this better? Does this work better for you guys if I look at the camera? It's weird because, like, my head is facing this way, but then the camera is up there. So I went and bought a camera this morning because I knew I was going to have this big pro match that I was going to be casting tonight. I wanted to be like perfectly 100% ready. So I went out to Walmart at like 5 in the morning, but bought a webcam, and then like the cord on it is like 2 feet long. So like I can't even connect it from the back of my computer to like the center of my monitor. It only has enough room to like connect to the top corner of my monitor. So that's bad job, Logitech. If Walmart had reviews, I would go give you a bad review. But that just seems like a really, like, why would you make a cord that short? That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I mean, this is my first time casting with all these fancy graphics that I got Photoshop out and made. First time with this camera, so let me know how it's going, guys. Let me know if everything is all good. Sounding good, looking good. So I want to do the best possible job I can. But the pro match, that is going to be coming up in about 20 minutes here. Yeah, that is going to be at 7 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Central, and it's 8:40 here, so it's going to be coming up in about 20 minutes here. But that's going to be really exciting. That is a match between the grand finalists from last season. That is Shadow Brotherhood versus Snipe Squad. So that is going to be a real treat. Looking very much forward to casting that. One of the players is fresh off of a Heroic 4 performance in Heroes of the Dorm, Rafflecopter, so really looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So stick around. That is going to be coming up in about 20 minutes. We'll be right back with that. But thanks, guys.